مشهور أمريكي مسلم في مقابلة تلفزيونية مع غير مسلمين شاركهم قصة حياته كمسلم في أمريكا، من نشأة مليئة بالتحديات إلى تجربة العمرة بعد فقدان أخيه، ومشاركة أسرار الإسلام ببساطة وبقلب مفتوح. هذا ليس مجرد حوار، بل تفتيح لعقول هؤلاء الغير مسلمين الذين ينهالون عليه بالأسئلة. وكيف يجمع الإيمان بين القلوب رغم الاختلاف؟ فلنبدأ هذه الرحلة معا الآن.
Somebody is Muslim, right? Like, would there be any, because that is the identity that I imagine supersedes everything. Obviously, ethnicity is incredibly important. It's history. It's, food is everything. But if somebody is Muslim and they are white or they're black or they're Asian or whatever it is, would that matter to certain families?
It does not matter at all, bro. Like, there is like
for marrying,
cultural, there is cultural things that do exist, but to Islam itself, if you look up the last sermon of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it'll blow your mind.
What does he say?
It'll literally blow your mind. I just don't want to do it any disservice, but essentially is that, the last thing, the big thing in Islam is like, don't misquote thing or mislead thing. Yep. It's very, very important to be clear and concise on things. Yeah. But one of them is like, basically an Arab doesn't have a right over another Arab, or a white over another white, or a black over another black. It's just like basically described like.
Was this a thing that impacted Muhammad Ali?
Malcolm.
Oh, sorry, Malcolm. That's right.
Yeah. When he went to Hajj, when he went to Hajj and he saw everybody wearing the same, same attire, there was no like distinction of who's rich and who's poor or whatever. Everybody's in the same. And so many colors, like everyone, every walk of life. And this doesn't exist like in Arab culture. Like, you just, they're all Arabs. You don't think like, it's a black. This is a very American westernized thing. It didn't exist in our psyche like that. I mean, it did to a degree because Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, did acknowledge it and say like very clear parameters, like nobody has a right over anybody else. Yeah. That's very, very clear. But then after that, it's just like, you're just Arab, bro. You speak Arabic. I don't look at it like, that's a black guy that speaks Arabic. Well, that's a white guy that speaks Arabic.
That's a more Western thing.
Yeah, it's a Western thing completely. It's not within our psyche at all.
Can you speak about the first time you did the Hajj? Is that what you said? Like,
yeah, I've never done Hajj, but I've done Umrah.
What is the difference?
Umrah is like the shorter version that you could do off, outside of Hajj time. So Hajj happens like 3 months after. So to speak, almost 3 months. It's since we deal with the lunar calendar. So after Ramadan, there'll be like the Eid, and then there's the big Eid, which is Eid al-Adha, and that's around the time everybody goes to Hajj.
So if you go to Mecca, not during that time, it's called Umrah.
Yeah, which is a much shorter, condensed version.
You saw, and you
I've done this. Yeah, I've done this.
3 times.
After my brother died, I went. Took my family with me. And then I went a second time a few months later. It just happened like 4 or 5 months later. And then I went on this past trip. I took my son and wife with me.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was one of the hardest things I've done on this particular trip. It was just really, really tough with my son and everything. But it's amazing how the kid he knew he was in the presence of something holy.
Special.
He just immediately started praising. It was so instinctual. It was so dope because it's a kid. I never taught him like, hey, make sure you do this, do that. He just walked in and like knew. It was so amazing.
What is so powerful about it? I had a friend who did it, and he just changed his whole life, Umrah, after he came back. Comedian. But what is so powerful about it?
I think from each person it'll vary, but I'll speak from my own experience is that this is like the center of the world, and that all the prophets existed and السلام like at some point in time, and that there's a tremendous amount of significance of being there, and also the presence of everyone there, the gathering itself, and then knowing that just it's a spiritual thing. You can't really describe fully, but I have the meaning for it. It's like you get there and it's just like you just
caught up in the energy.
Feel it, and the energy is just so palpable. And once you do that, once you go through it, and sometimes it's really, really hard. Like it was this past trip, and there's a lot of things you're not supposed to do. Like you can't go there angry. You can't go there mad. You can't like kill any like lizard or roach or anything. You can't kill anything. You have to be
pure,
like super pure and in a positive mindset, and you have to wash before you even go into Mecca and change the tire and put on the haram, and it has no stitching in it. It's all just like 100% like this cotton covering. Like you just go in and you're just naked. You just like have nothing except you and God and all these people, and just having my son there with me and my wife was just really incredible. experience. And it's just so moving. And you're supposed to go from there to Medina and visit the Prophet and the Prophet's mosque. It's incredible. It's you have to just do it to experience it. Even Medina is one of the safest places on earth. According to insurance companies, it's the safest place on earth for women to go. Anywhere on planet Earth.
Can you tell me about the first time you went? Like, I imagine, how old were you at that time?
First time I went? It wasn't that long. It was 3 years ago.
Okay. I imagine your entire life, you built up what this experience is going to be. Yeah. The emotions that you would have. You know, what is happening like the day before? What is happening when you show up that day? Like, are you nervous? Are you excited?
Are you nervous about even getting back into the U.S.?
No.
Well, no, at that point,
nothing like that at all.
Like,
nothing like that at all.
What about that experience? Like, compared to what you built it up to be, to what everybody had told you about?
Sure.
Like,
That's a really good question.
Are you chasing the emotion of it, or is it overwhelming you? Like, what happens the day you arrive?
Well, for me, I was stripped down to zero. You know, my brother had just passed, like maybe 15 days prior. It was a complete out of nowhere. He was the healthiest one. He was a pilot. He was nobody saw it coming, you know. He like texted us, I'll hit you guys. I'm charging my phone. I'm at the hospital getting a checkup in my chest, whatever. And then the next call we got that he was dead. So it just like changed my entire world. All of us, you know. So when I went there, I had a different energy completely. It was just like, you know, I'm in this position where I'm like, I don't want to say like the leader of the family, but I am in a way. And so my mom everybody depends on me in a way. And I'm just thinking about his kids, his wife, all these things. And so I wasn't really thinking about like, I was more like, I'm taking my mother for her heart. I'm taking his kids, whoever wants to come with me. Whoever wants to come. Like,
it wasn't about you. It was about them. Yeah,
it was about everybody else. And to me, being of service to my mother, it's a big deal. And to be able to push my mom to do the 7 laps was a big deal. So all that is there, like, culminates to the experience, you know, just brings it all together for me. But it was deeply, deeply powerful. And actually, that's why I prayed for my son. Like, I didn't know. I said, God, please. And I don't really say this publicly, but I said, like, you know, God, you know, just thinking about my brother passing, and my sister was sick at the time too. We just found out about her diagnosis. It was just like, if it's good for me, give me a son and a great wife, or, you know, a child and a great wife and a family. If it's not good for me, please don't give it to me. 8 months later, I was, you know, pregnant, expecting a child.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was just that. It was just that, like, being there for the family, but it's like, you gotta be, it's depending on which space you're in. And some people go and it's like forced, and it's some people do that. And then you say, Allah Alam, it's only God knows what's in their hearts and what their intentions are. But for me, it was deeply, deeply powerful. Easily one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life, taking my mom there after my brother passed and all this.
When you're there and you're doing the laps, does somebody tell, forgive me, I'm ignorant to this, but like, does somebody tell you where you can stand? Can you go up and be closer to it?
Yeah, like, you can. You can be as close as you want to it. You can. And there's people that are overwhelmed by it.
There's a lot of different emotions.
There's a lot of different emotions. I'm more of like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to like try to topple people. I just think it's very important to just be as controlled and as balanced as possible, and to see it and appreciate it. And if there's room to go and I don't feel the need to have to go and touch it and do all this, because I just see so much chaos over there, and everyone just kind of, which I don't agree with.
It could disrupt your energy.
And everybody's feeling a certain thing, and you don't know what emotions they're going through. I lost my sister, my brother. This guy could have lost his whole family. I mean, you don't even know what loss people are going through, what mindset they're at, or what reasons they're doing it for. So you don't, I just try to stay in my own lane and just think and
but
pray.
Do people,
if you're not of the faith, are you allowed to go?
No,
you're not.
Muslim, yeah.
When people go there, are they going there with a prayer in mind per se? Are they going there to like maybe seek advice or a message? Like, is it both?
I think it's all of the things together. Like, number one is that you're going there to purify your heart and essentially cleanse yourself. And so there's things that you follow while you're there, things you can say while you're going around, and there's ways to do that. But really what it boils down to is being as like internal about it, like being really from the heart and having your intention with the divine, That's really, really what it's about. It's like you can just keep talking to God while you're walking around. Sure, there is an actual things you can say on the way there, while you're going around. Is like things you can do 100%. In the end, like, you have to be like your intention and with God and the things that you say, the things that you pray for and ask for, that's the most important thing. It's like you being like in tune with the divine, you know? And I keep saying like divine and God. It's like the way I was taught. It's like your incomprehension of God is your comprehension of God.
Yeah, acknowledging that you can't possibly comprehend it.
Exactly. Exactly. Like if you try to describe what God is, your brain should short circuit.
Exactly. Yeah, it's too much for you to put together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's easily one of the greatest things I've ever done in my life. It was one of the hardest things. And the first one you do it. You have to do it for yourself. Yeah. And then the other times you do it, you can do it on behalf of others. You know, like people who couldn't go. Oh, you can make the intention to do that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Since it was my third time, I made an intention for someone else, you know. And you go and do it on their behalf.
At this point going, people must know you. Like, they must be so familiar with you. Are people stopping you while you're actually...
Sometimes they smile, but it's a very respectful thing, to be honest. I'll get messages after, like, I saw it. I'm like, I saw you, brother, but I didn't want to interrupt you. It's a very, very sweet thing. It's not
They're also probably hyped, too. They're
hyped, too. They're in tune, but they see you, and then sometimes it breaks that, you know, focus a little bit. But for the most part, it's everyone is there for a particular purpose, and they understand that, so they don't really interrupt that at all. It's very cool. Like, they don't really don't. And actually, most of them were just thrilled to see my son. He was the main attraction, you know what I mean? Just seeing this not even 2-year-old like go around, it's such a blessed thing. Kids are like, they see this as like he's like the innocent, the purest one. So he was getting way more attention than I was, you know. And I was praying for him most of the time, praying for him, my wife, and those I've lost before.
Why is that place specifically so important? Like, what is the historical significance of it? That's
the first place of worship.
Ever.
You know, ever.
In the
Abraham,
Muslim religion.
Yes, yeah. In all religions, Prophet Abraham.
Oh, I didn't know that it went back to Abraham.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Abraham built the Kaaba?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, wow. So that's the first...
Can you fact check me on this? But I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is, because he's the one who
So this is the source.
Moon.
This is the first...
He saw the moon, he saw the oneness of God and the monotheistic belief and religion, and the story of Islam is like he saw these statues and he broke
I got some goosebumps.
He broke
right there,
all
man.
the statues, and then he put the hammer around the big statue, and everyone's like, oh my God, the big statue, you know, destroyed all. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, I did this. Like, you know, this is ridiculous.
But
like,
it's
he just kind of broke that whole mold.
Because,
are you looking that up?
Wow, that's...
Cool.
So, Abraham build the
King
first temple. King Solomon built it according to the book.
It's supposed to be built by Abraham and Ishmael?
Yeah.
Abraham and Ishmael built the temple.
The Kaaba.
The Kaaba. The Islamic text.
Yeah.
Wow. And then what would the difference be? A Kaaba compared to a temple compared to a...
It's a place of worship. I mean, it's like, it's one of those things that I don't want to misspeak. It's very, very important that I keep it clear. But do your research, do your thing, and I'd love to talk about it more clearly, but this is like the different setting for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that it went all the way back to the source.
Oh, yeah. Whew. Yeah, it's been destroyed and rebuilt. There's many things that have happened throughout history since then, but it's a extremely, powerful place for sure.
وهكذا انتهى هذا الحوار الدافئ، لكنه يترك في القلوب الكثير من التأملات. رأينا كيف يتحدث مشهور أمريكي مسلم بصدق عن حياته، عن قوة الإيمان في مواجهة الفقدان، وعن جمال الحج الذي يجمع الجميع في سكينة واحدة دون تمييز بين أبيض أو أسود، غني أو فقير. الإسلام ليس مجرد دين، بل طريقة حياة تجمع بين الروح والقلب وتفتح أبواب الحوار مع الجميع. اشترك في قناة فيرا للمزيد من القصص الحقيقية عن الإسلام في الغرب. فيرا تعني الحقيقة، ونحن هنا لنرويها بكل صدق. إلى لقاء آخر، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.